let's talk about the top things that an elegant, classy lady would never do. Hey, it's me, Karina. Welcome back to my channel. We're just going to dive in to 8 things that a classy lady would never even think about doing. These things can really ruin and damage your reputation if you are doing one of these. And maybe at the time it looks as though it's okay to do one of these things, or actually maybe you see it so commonly around you that you think these things are just accepted by society and okay to do. And while yes, a majority of females do these things, I want to let you know, be different. Don't follow the footsteps of many, because unfortunately society is really not moving in a beneficial direction towards women, and a lot of the times women have to seek external validation and do unladylike things in order to try to get things to shift their way, and in the long run it just ends up damaging their reputation. And that's the whole point of this channel. I make videos about money, woman, and power, and really just want to empower women so you can be the best version of yourself and just be a classy lady that keeps progressing in all areas of her life, including physically, mentally, business, just in any ways. And if you're new and for the first time here, my name is Karina. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for these types of videos, okay? And I'm really making videos like this to honestly just help out females, because I have been around groups of people that are very well off, and they really frown upon these types of things. Honestly, like I mentioned before, it looks accepted by society, but if you're really trying to be the best version of yourself and be in circles around respected individuals, doing these things is really going to, like I said, ruin your reputation and just not put you in the best light, and we don't want that. We are doing the opposite. So what are these things? The first one is, a classy lady is not a party animal. Plain and simple. I know there is a fad going around with clubs and lounges and bars, but it is not elegant behavior, and it's honestly not going to get you far in life if what you're doing is focusing on partying and just being around that type of environment. Now, I'm not against fun, I'm not against friends and going out and doing fun things, but there's definitely where you draw the line, okay? You can have a good time with your friends without being an out of control party animal that purposely seeks out these types of environments. And let's be honest, the people in those environments are not really people that are going to add much value to your life and really going to take you the places where you need to be taken. Plain and simple. The second thing is that a classy lady is not revealing, and she dresses appropriately for the occasion that she is attending, and always in a classy way. And this doesn't just apply to clothing, that also applies to the way she carries herself. There's a lot of interesting articles of clothing that I see, and for some reason women are being conditioned to believe that the more skin that is shown, the more woman-like they are, the more desired they are, and the more attention they get. And unfortunately, that's just the direction things are going, and I just very strongly disagree with that mindset. It's crazy. It's so crazy, especially in the days of the online world where you look on Instagram and it is literally things, I mean, you really see things that if a younger person is on there, say somebody who's in their early teens or even before that, I don't think they should be allowed to see those things. It is literally like borderline Playboy, and pretty much Playboy. It's not censored, and it's just too much revealing. I don't understand where it became okay to portray yourself in that type of manner. I'm not saying be a nun and cover up and just don't wear anything at all that shows your assets, but like I said, there is literally a fine line between these things. You can be sexy and classy at the same time, but that doesn't mean you have to display literally every single piece of flesh essentially that you have. It's honestly going very over the top, not just in the way of what people are wearing out to public for a night out, but also even if we think about Halloween or those types of environments, it's very like frightening to me, because that's just a whole nother environment. And if you're trying to be the best version of yourself and really get to places in life, honestly, trust me when I say that's not doing you any favors, and you probably shouldn't be putting that out in public, and especially on social media. It's just too much. But anyways, I could rant about this for quite a long time, so I'm just gonna move on to point number 3, which is a lady should not be an attention seeker. And there are a lot of things that factor into this. The very obvious of just looking the way that I just talked about, but there's also other behaviors where you can see that somebody is trying to overcompensate to get more eyes on them, and it is just very, how to say, deterring for everybody else. People that actually have self-respect, people that are going places in life, don't smile upon that behavior. And that can include very many things. That's one of the biggest things, I believe, is just purposely having a very loud laugh that's trying to attract attention. And I don't mean like a natural laugh that you have, but people just purposely try to play up those features to get more attention to them. Whether it's laughing obnoxiously loud or talking obnoxiously loud. I have heard that so many times. It's especially in nice settings, such as a nice restaurant where everyone is just talking in a normal voice, and then there is a female or a group of females that thinks it's appropriate to either laugh very loudly, talk very loudly, just make loud remarks, and that just doesn't look good whatsoever. But that, like I said, doesn't just apply to your tone of voice, that applies to how you carry yourself, and that's basically just obviously trying to seek attention by rerouting the conversation just for yourself, or just being on your phone all the time, or taking selfies, or putting filters. Again, we can apply that to social media, and it's those type of girls that all they do is post selfies of themselves and a bunch of filtered videos on their Instagram stories of them making weird faces. That is a value add of about 0. And trust me, lady, I'm coming from the warmest place. You don't want to be one of those girls. The 4th thing is that a lady doesn't partake in profanity or foul language such as cursing, and she is very well spoken. And that doesn't just apply to the type of words she says, such as not cursing or cussing, because that's not classy whatsoever. And honestly, to me, when I hear people cussing, especially in like a very strong way, it's almost like nails on a chalkboard to me, because I really don't hear it very often these days. And to me, that's just a complete lack of class, and again, overcompensation. So ladies should be well spoken. And yeah, cursing doesn't make you look good. I mean, you can come on here and say, I don't care, it's 2020, freedom of speech, USA, whatever you may say. It does not make you look good. It's just simple as that. Just look at any high caliber woman. Look at any woman that is successful and with a good man who supports her, and just anyone who's making big moves in life. Have you seen them curse? Okay, yes, there's the occasional cuss word or two, but that's just not in their lexicon. They just don't go around using cuss words like it's normal language. And on top of that, this isn't just cuss words, it also applies to the way your tone of voice, the way you speak. Some people really try to play up their voice and just make it this very high pitched, almost like they're trying to be more feminine, but it just comes off almost as a valley girl style. That it's not a good thing, okay? Unless that's your voice, you should really try to speak normally and get respect that way. So keep that in mind. Thing number 5 that a lady doesn't do is that she's not excessive with her alcohol. And I have seen some things, you guys. I have seen some interesting things, and I cannot understand how that ever looks appealing, okay? I live close to Los Angeles, and I have been to Los Angeles very many times, and the stories I could tell you, okay? I'm not a huge drinker. I have maybe a glass of wine once every 2 weeks or so, and that's about it. Maybe a glass of champagne. I've never been intoxicated to these levels. And I mean, like I said, the things you see even in certain upscale restaurants, it's, again, I think it really goes back to this whole validation thing and women trying to seek attention. So they think that if they drink more, they'll be more kind of talky and chatty and more, you know, sociable. And while yes, alcohol does do those things to you, there's definitely a fine line, and you need to really watch yourself in that line. You don't want to be the person that's kind of like tripping over their own shoes, holding on to rails. I have seen people on the pavement, on the curb, with their two girlfriends grabbing their arms and trying to keep them balanced. And I see this frequently. And like I said, in literally normal streets where people are just going out to a nice dinner, and outside the restaurant there is these people. And what? Just please don't do that, okay? Control your alcohol levels, enjoy a nice glass of whatever you're drinking with your meal, but honestly, again, it's not gonna get you far in life. What are your goals? Where is that taking you? It's the harsh truth, but it is in fact the truth. Number 6 is that classy ladies don't partake in provocative behavior, and that ties into a few things we spoke about, and that's just, again, attention seeking, dressing a certain way, and just kind of getting that attention from everybody, or trying to, and it comes to the way you talk, to the way you present yourself, all of the above put together. Some things can really come off as off-putting, and you just don't want to participate in those types of things. You want to keep your head up and classy at all times. You want to be a class act. Trust me, you want to have your together. You really, really do. I mean, people tell me stories too, and it's just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. You don't want to be a story. Do you want to be a story? No, you don't. A classy lady also doesn't settle for less than what she knows she is worth. And what I mean by that is that she has self-respect, she knows her value, and she's not going to settle for breadcrumbs from everybody. She's not going to allow herself to be disrespected by anybody at any situation, looked down upon, spoken to poorly. She's going to stand up for herself. And in regards to that, I'm also including the category of when men try to approach her. A classy lady is not going to go home with just any person, or any person at all for that matter. Ooh, I mean, I think that should be a video in and of itself. I think you probably understand my point, but like I said, be a class act, okay? You are a precious lady, and if you are on the route of seeking attention and seeking validations, a lot of girls think it's okay to just settle for anything, anyone, any man that gives them attention, and that lends them into really bad situations and lowers their self-respect and self-value, and just chips away at their character. So don't be one of those. Hold your head up high. And the last thing that a classy lady does is she doesn't just pass time. She doesn't sit and watch hours of TV, hours of YouTube videos, just calling up her friends to go on lunch, isn't on dating apps like Tinder just for a fun time, isn't seeking out parties and clubs and whatever and whoever can just give her attention. No, no, no. A classy lady who is enhancing herself, moving up in life, achieving her goals, is always, and I mean always, improving herself in all ways she can, okay? And that means physically, mentally, emotionally. She is reaching levels. She's educating herself. She's meeting her goals and becoming the best type of person she can be, and in turn attracting the same types of people into her life. And trust me, beautiful lady, you who are watching this, that's the type of lady you want to be. This channel is all about harsh truth. I'm here to talk about money, woman power. I'm here to educate, and this is something you really need to hear. And the reason for that is, the reason it does sound harsh is because society is not conditioning females to think that way. Society is conditioning females to think that all of the above that I just said is normal, that you're just having fun in life, that it's okay because everyone else is doing it. But that is simply not true. If you follow that path, you're honestly not going to go anywhere. And sadly, I have seen many females in that predicament, and 99% of them are not going anywhere, and they are just in not the best mental state. And if you don't want to be there, then just really pay attention to the things you do in your life. I hope that you benefited from this. Let me know your comments, or let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video.